Yellowstone has been a place of scientific discovery and a place for people to admire the beauty of nature. Many visitors travel to the park every year, but in all its beauty, it's been known to kill, and some believe it will destroy all life on Earth if it erupts. But probably no need to worry, it won't erupt anytime soon. I've visited Yellowstone twice, and in my recent research, I've learned a lot about this beautiful national park. Yellowstone is the world's first national park, established March 1st, 1872. It covers a vast area and is home to many different types of plants and animals. President Ulysses S. Grant established Yellowstone National Park when he signed the Yellowstone National Park Protection Act. The Yellowstone National Park Protection Act states that the headwaters of the Yellowstone River is hereby reserved and withdrawn from settlement, occupancy, or sale, and dedicated and set apart as a public park or pleasure ground for the benefit and enjoyment of the people. The National Park Service website also states some great facts and information about Yellowstone. It's got 2,221,766,000 acres, 3,472 square miles. 96% is in Wyoming, 3% in Montana, and 1% in Idaho. 5% of the park is covered in water, 15% covered by grasslands, and 80% covered by forest. There are 67 species of mammals in the park, 285 species of birds, 16 species of fish, and 5 species of amphibians, 6 species of reptiles, and more than 7 aquatic invasive species. There are a couple threatened species, which is the Canada lynx and grizzly bears. The plants and flowers, there's 1,000 plus species of native flowering plants, 225 species of invasive plants not native to the park, 9 species of conifers, and more than 80% of the conifers or the forest are lodgepole pine, as they're shown in the picture on the slide. The geology of the park sits on top of an active volcano, which is actually considered a supervolcano. It's one of the world's largest calderas, which is a sunken area. There's about 1,000 to 3,000 earthquakes that occur annually in the park, and more than 10,000 hydrothermal features across the park. More than 500 active geysers, which is half the world's geysers, and also about 290 waterfalls. This leads us to the speculation of whether the supervolcano that Yellowstone sits on will erupt anytime soon. Initial reporting on the research that had been conducted on an imminent eruption, news outlets stated that eruption would happen soon and life on Earth as we know it would end soon. This was not completely true. Even though recent research shows that the volcano could become active sooner than once expected, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's ready to blow soon. Nor does it mean that when an eruption occurs, that it will destroy the planet. As stated in the Smithsonian Magazine, the Yellowstone supervolcano has had 3 super eruptions in the last 2 million years. One of them occurred 2 million years ago. The second was 1.2 million years ago, and the third about 630,000 years ago. Ela Binman from the University of Oregon stated that we know the behavior of the past, and we know what comparative stage that Yellowstone is in right now, and we think that Yellowstone is on a 3rd cycle, and it's a dying cycle. The truth is that Yellowstone's beauty has been created by the volcanic eruptions of the past. The sunken areas or calderas, the beautiful landscape, the geysers like Old Faithful, and the many thermal pools were all created by the last 3 eruptions. Increasingly, there are scientists that are looking at possible solutions to stop an eruption if one were about to occur. Beyond the dangers of a possible eruption are the immediate dangers that are present for anyone who visits the park. But if you follow a few simple rules, you can have an accident-free and enjoyable visit. In the wilderness, you're never very far from the edge, and if you take it for granted, it will come up and bite you, as stated by Elliot Brown in the book Death in Yellowstone. Many deaths are caused by bison attacks or gorings, being boiled in pools, or poisonous gas. Yellowstone has dangers that are unique that other national parks don't have. Many people are not aware of the dangers associated with Yellowstone, and that is what will get them in trouble. To avoid mishaps in the park, the National Park Service has some simple rules to follow. Never approach the wildlife. Stay on the boardwalks and paths, especially when around the hydrothermal areas, and never feed the wildlife. The National Park Service states that they can't guarantee your safety in Yellowstone, but these basic steps will help you avoid the common accidents. Lastly, in my research of the park, one of the most interesting things I discovered was Yellowstone's ties to the study of DNA, and more specifically, the polymerase chain reaction. Thermus aquaticus, it was the heat-resistant bacteria discovered by microbiologist Thomas Brock in the lower Geyser Basin area in 1966, which could survive in near boiling water. Brock's discovery of Thermus aquaticus led to his student named Hudson Freeze discovering that bacteria produced an enzyme that also tolerated high temperatures. It could remain intact in the boiling water, and it was named Taq DNA polymerase. Carrie B. Mullis consequently developed the polymerase chain reaction technique using the enzyme that they discovered. The polymerase we originally used, as Mullis stated, was easily destroyed by heat. Consequently, more had to be added during each cycle of the reaction. He needed a heat-resistant enzyme so the reaction could continue without interruption. The enzyme from thermophilic bacteria dwelling in Yellowstone solved that problem. The PCR technique became the preferred method for DNA sequencing, ancient DNA analysis, gene cloning, and DNA fingerprinting. Even more recently, it's been used to test patients and surfaces for infectious diseases like COVID-19. Considering where we are with DNA, this is amazing. As you can see, Yellowstone is dangerous, but at the same time, it's beautiful, diverse, and educational. Yellowstone is a huge national park. It does lie in 3 states. Its beauty is infinite, and the diversity of the plants and animals is amazing. A supervolcano with thousands of hydrothermal features and geysers, it can be a dangerous place. But to see the wilderness up close and personal, it's worth the risk. And the risk is low if you follow the National Park Service guidance. There have been many scientific discoveries there, and probably will be many more to come. After hearing some of the great things about Yellowstone, I hope that more people are intrigued by this beautiful place and decide to go see it for themselves. Thank you.